everybody's kind of finishing up their spring cleaning and remembering to check those batteries in the smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detector as well. And here with some more reminders about carbon monoxide is Andy Crouppen from Brown & Crouppen. Unfortunately, so many tragic stories about innocent folks who really, I mean, weren't doing anything out of the ordinary, but for some reason their furnace malfunctioned and the house fills with carbon monoxide while they're sleeping. And one of the things I'm sure you're going to stress here is that this is an odorless gas, and it's hard to catch these things.
It is. It's odorless. You can't see it. You can't smell it, and it's so preventable. When I was a kid growing up, I don't remember there being carbon monoxide detectors in every home, and I think obviously more and more people died back then. Now, for $25, $30 at Home Depot, you can get a carbon monoxide detector. It's every bit as important as a smoke alarm. Yeah. Which everybody has.
And you can get them in combination.
You can.
It's a combination smoke alarm and carbon monoxide.
So, you know, this time of year, you're sort of taking your winter clothes down, bringing the summer clothes up to your, you know, from your basement. Just take that time as a reminder to check the batteries because, like you say, your furnace can malfunction. You can have a small hole in the vent. You wouldn't even know it.
Right.
And
well, let's back up because, like you said, when you were a kid and when I was a kid, well, when I was a kid, they didn't have carbon monoxide detectors, but a lot of folks have the smoke detectors, but they don't have the carbon monoxide detector to begin with.
Right.
So it's, I mean, we're talking about checking batteries. I think we want to stress to people, you need to get one.
That's
Whether
true.
you're in a rental or you own your home, it's not that expensive. I don't know, most communities don't have codes, do they, that apply to the carbon monoxide?
I don't think a lot do. I think what you want to make sure, you want to have one in the kitchen, obviously, because many people have gas stoves where you can have some issues. You want to have one in any in or near any bedrooms, and make sure you have one in the garage, too. That is... The furnace happens, and you never know it. But what also happens, people don't realize if you're in an enclosed space with a car running, that's one of the biggest ways that people are poisoned by carbon monoxide. My father, actually, when I was a kid about 25 years ago, one of his partners passed away in his garage from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Really?
I think a lot of people don't even realize how dangerous it is. It doesn't take much time. If you have your car running in your garage, it doesn't take long before you can succumb to the fumes, and you don't even necessarily notice. You just kind of get drowsy. And you just pass out, and before you know it, it's too late.
And so, I mean, we're getting out of that cold season, but a lot of people like to warm their cars up in the morning before they take off, and if it's outside, I guess that's okay. There's a whole issue of people coming along and stealing your car. We're not suggesting or recommending that you warm up the car outside, but certainly you don't want to warm it up in the garage.
You don't, and especially make sure the garage door is open, but not only can you have problems within the garage, but if your garage is attached to your house, you can then let that gas seep inside your home and harm people in your house,
well,
too.
And if your exhaust system in your car had a leak, you could have a problem in the car itself if you're not careful.
You know, that's a good point. You'll see people sitting and idling just to stay warm in their cars. Sometimes you hear people even sleeping in their cars. And the reason that's so dangerous is even a small leak in the exhaust system can let that carbon monoxide seep into the car itself, and you can become poisoned that way, even if you're outdoors. So you want to make sure that maybe once a year have your exhaust system checked for leaks, just to make sure you're not, especially if you have small kids.
You take it in for your state inspection or whatever they're going to look at it, but you know, if you have it in the car for any reason, it's a good idea to have that looked at.
Can't hurt to get your HVAC system in your home too. Make sure the heating and cooling system is
so anywhere where there's a source, a potential source for this, in the basement where the furnace is or wherever the furnace is, the kitchen, as you said, because of some things that could happen there as well.
Well, it's a combustion byproduct. Anytime you have any source of combustion, a flameless heater even, just make sure you're conscious of it.
Andy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, if you have a legal question for Brown & Crouppen, email us at greatday@kmov.com. And we thank Andy, as always, for that good